Small Screen Reviews with Clint Baker.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Clint Baker with Small Screen Reviews. We are back to talk about Jupiter's Legacy. But before we do that, I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe and click the notification bell so we can let you know about future videos. Now, let's talk about it. Jupiter's Legacy, if you don't know anything about it, it's based off of some books written by Mark Miller. Netflix a while back did a deal and bought up basically his whole catalog. So if you're not familiar with him, he's the guy who wrote Old Man Logan. He's the guy who wrote Civil War. He's a great writer, and I have a feeling we're going to get some great properties from his catalog that in the up and coming years. So I'm excited about that. How was the show? Well, there's some good things and some bad things. Basically, this is a super team family, and this is an origin story, and this is also there's a lot going on with this show. Is the best way to put it. And so I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about this show all over. I've taken a lot of notes about it and just kind of thought about it for a couple days actually. Because I tend to like everything, and I had problems with this, and I don't find myself in situations to where I'm either like, oh, that sucked or that's good. And this was like all over the place. It was great and sucked. I won't say sucked. That's a strong word, but it was great and meh on a lot of levels. And I think let's get into the likes first. Let's talk about the likes. The first thing that I liked was the fights. There was some really cool fight scenes. There was a lot of people going at it and a lot of stuff going on. I felt like the heroes getting hurt was really cool. I always like that, like a Daredevil. When you watch Daredevil, he gets a crap beaten out of him, and it's awesome. These heroes are getting beat up, and there's just really good action when there was. Now, dislikes, give me more of that action, right? But this show couldn't make up its mind. That was the deal with this show. It's like and I feel like maybe the reason for this is because you never know if you're going to get a second season. So you got to just do it all, right? I feel like this show would have been better served if you'd have done the origin story. Because here's the deal. They did the flashback. Half of the show is a flashback that's taken place in like the 20s. And then the rest of it is in the present. And you can kind of find some of the past stuff compelling. And then you can also find the present compelling. And so it's kind of weird. It's like, they do some stuff with like flashbacks and visions and go on a quest and all that, and I think that would have been better served to be its own thing, and then they finally get to Skull Island and then Khonshu or insert your own entity bestows the powers upon them. We've seen that before, but they could have made it cooler if they'd invested a little more into that storytelling. And I think they invested too much. I think they could have, and I've heard from other people, I haven't read the books, I've heard from other people, they just kind of go over that in the first few pages and then get on with the story. I feel like they should have done this on this story. And I've thought about it more, and I thought, well, maybe because there's a whole bunch of superhero properties out there, all these shows going on, maybe they wanted to try and do something different. Well, they end up like cutting their own feet off because they didn't do enough of the superhero stuff. So for a minute, I'm like, okay, can we get over this adventure stuff and get back into the future? I don't know. It was weird. So I would have totally watched that show that took place in the 20s. I would have watched just that show. Then there's The Code. This show is all about a moral dilemma. This is the thing that's in Batman. It's like the code is basically we don't intervene, we don't govern, and we don't kill. All right. Well, cool. Well, they really just cram this down your throat. Like, and I get it, but, the don't kill thing, that's a Batman thing. That's why the Joker will always beat Batman or basically never stop. And that's where the main conflict with Batman and the Joker is that the Joker will do anything and the Batman is handicapped. If he could just kill him, it would be over. You know what I mean? This show really crams that down your throat. And the main thing about this show is I felt like it was a big soap opera. This was a super soap opera. I felt like for one, you got the Sun that doesn't measure up. The Sun is supposed to be the successor for the main character. It's played by Josh Duhamel, the Utopian, and that's supposed to be the deal. And there's a point in the show, again, spoiler alert, there's a point in the show where he's getting his ass kicked. He's about to get killed, and the son steps in and manages to take out the bad guy and killed the guy. And the dad was like, his dad, he was watching his dad get killed. He was about to lose, and his son saved his ass. And is the show about this? It's like, is the show the origin story, or is this a show about a moral dilemma of whether to kill or not kill, and how the good guys don't kill, and it's okay for the bad guys to, and the bad guys can't ever be victorious because they're not willing to cross the line? Hey, that sounds familiar. It is definitely treated and feels like TV, not big screen movie. It feels like TV, and there's a lot of soap opera, daytime soap opera caliber performances, and then sometimes there's some great performances. So it's kind of all over the place. Again, it was a confusing show because you've got family drama, you've got origin story, you've got fighting villains and this and that, and it wasn't confusing to keep track of. It's just like, what is this story? What is this show about? And then finally, it was the very ending of the show where it's like, dude, now I'm invested in Chloe and Hutch. I want to see what happens with them. That's a whole cool storyline. That's going to be good. Let's get out of the past. I'm glad we've done it. And let's see what's going on. And then also, with the big reveal with the brother at the end, now there's some serious drama, and boy, it felt like The Young and the Restless. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, at the end. So yeah. So now I care at the very end of the show. So it's funny that it took to maybe the last episode or the last two episodes to actually really get into the show. The whole time I said, what the hell is going on? And again, there's some good action, there's some cool fight scenes, there's some good costumes, and then there's some kind of sketchy ones, but it's a TV show. It's not a movie. So I'll say, man, watch it. I will also say, we've been bombarded with so much stuff and spoiled because all of these creators are making fantastic shows that when a pretty good show comes out, and that's what I call this, a pretty good show, it's not, parts of it are doing what other shows do, and I think they tried to make it their own, and I think doing that, they kind of spread themselves a little too thin or something, but it was good. And honestly, now that they've gotten through that, I hope if they get picked up for another season, now the next stuff is going to be way better. They've gotten all of the foundation out of the way. So in closing, I wish they would have just done the origin back in the 20s, maybe the first episode, and then gotten into the show. Get that out of the way, and let's get some action and keep it going. Overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. Clint likes everything. But yeah, we'll see. Honestly, what I'm enjoying the most is that I feel like it's going to be a really good second season if they get a second season. So, man, I'm giving this show a rough review. Well, look, it was good. It was good, but it was kind of weird how it was thrown together. And I wish they'd have done the origin as one season, or just knocked it out in the first couple of episodes and then gotten with the rest of the show. I think it would have flowed a little better. But having half of the show be in the future and half of the show be in the past for the whole thing, it made it kind of a weird ride. It also made me say, hey, can we get back to the other stuff? It was weird. But anyway, all right, well, that's it. I'm starting to ramble. All right, that's going to wrap it up with this review for Jupiter's Legacy. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys soon.